Have you ever stood at the kitchen sink, hands still from a lifetime of movement, and thought, when do I finally get to rest? Not just rest as in sleep, but rest as in release. You've spent years and maybe decades while holding so much, holding family together, holding jobs, appointments, expectations, holding your tongue when it would have been easier to speak, holding your breath when no one noticed how tired you were. And now, here you are, wiser, more weathered, but still standing, still loving, still giving. But something inside you has started whispering, hasn't it? Not louder, just clearer. It says, you don't have to carry it all anymore. That whisper is your new beginning, because the truth is, your next chapter doesn't need to be about doing more. It can be about doing less, with more meaning. Not more obligations, more intention. Not more things to prove, more things that feel true. After 60, the world often tells us to slow down, but no one ever teaches us how to let go. Let go of what's heavy, what's outdated, what was once necessary, but now only noisy. That's what this video is about. Together, we're going to explore 9 things to gently stop doing. Not because they were bad, not because you failed, but because you've simply outgrown them. This is a season of spaciousness, of clearing emotional clutter so joy has room to enter. You've earned your peace. And today, we begin the quiet, sacred work of making space for it. Part 1. Stop saying yes when you mean maybe. You're sitting at the dining table, the phone rings, or someone leans in with a smile and says, "Can you help with this real quick?" And before you even have time to think, your mouth moves faster than your heart. "Sure," you say, just like you've always said. But the moment that word leaves your lips, something subtle shifts. Your shoulders tense. Your mind races. Your gut tightens, not from guilt, but from truth. You didn't want to say yes, not because you don't care, but because maybe, just maybe, you needed rest more than responsibility. After 60, your time becomes more precious, not less. Every hour you give should feel like a choice, not a compromise. You've spent a lifetime saying yes because it was polite, expected, easiest in the moment. But now you get to pause, to feel into the moment before agreeing to something your soul is unsure about. Here's the gentle shift. Next time someone asks for your time, whether it's a favor, a plan, or an invitation, try this simple grace. Smile kindly, breathe, then say, "Let me check and get back to you." Not yes, not no, just space. That tiny moment of pause is powerful. It allows your wisdom to speak before your reflex to please does, because peace doesn't come from saying yes. It comes from meaning it. Let this be your quiet rebellion against urgency, against guilt, against the voice that says your worth is measured in how available you are. You are not here to be constantly accessible. You are here to be present, Troy, where it truly matters. And that begins with honoring the small voice inside you that says, maybe, not right now. Say yes to others less often so you can say yes to yourself more fully. Part 2. Stop apologizing for your boundaries. You answer the phone, decline an invitation, or say no to something that doesn't feel right. And almost without thinking, the words slip out. "I'm so sorry. I just can't." But why sorry? Why guilt for honoring your own time, your energy, your limits? Many of us, especially women, were raised to be agreeable, to smooth the edges, to say yes with a smile and no with 1,000 softeners. I wish I could. I hate to say no. Maybe next time. But the truth is, every time you apologize for needing space, you quietly tell yourself that your needs come second. At this stage of life, you've earned the right to stop explaining your boundaries like they're burdens. A boundary isn't a wall, it's a doorway, one that leads to peace, presence, and well-being. It says, I know myself. I trust my rhythm. I protect what keeps me whole. So here's something gentle to try. The next time someone asks for your time or your energy and you know the answer is no, try this phrase. Kind, clear, powerful. No, thank you. I'm not available for that. Not cold, not defensive, just rooted in truth. You don't have to offer a long backstory. You don't have to apologize for resting, for taking care of your body, for choosing stillness over obligation. Saying no with grace is one of the most beautiful ways you can say yes to yourself, to your values, to the season of life you're in now. And remember this, you are not unkind for saying no. You are not difficult. You are simply a woman who knows what she needs. And that in itself is a quiet kind of freedom. Part 3. Stop replaying old conversations. It comes quietly. When you're washing the dishes, driving alone, or lying in bed just before sleep, that same sentence, the one you wish you'd never said, or the one you wish you had, her tone, his reaction, that awkward silence, and without meaning to, you're right back there, reliving it like a scene stuck on loop. You know you can't change it, and yet it plays again, as if replaying it enough times might somehow rewrite the ending. This isn't weakness, it's being human. We revisit old conversations because they mattered, because somewhere deep down, we wonder if we missed a chance to be seen more clearly, or to defend ourselves, or to heal what was left unsaid. But here's the quiet truth. No amount of mental rewinding can change what was. And often, the more we replay it, the more today slips by unnoticed. So next time the loop begins, gently pause, take a breath. Ask yourself, is this memory helping me grow or holding me back? If it's helping, maybe there's a lesson there, a truth to carry forward. But if it's only tightening your chest and stealing your present joy, then offer yourself a soft release. Say this out loud if it helps. I free myself from old weight. I choose now. Not because you're ignoring the past, but because you refuse to be held hostage by it. You're choosing presence over regret, peace over replay. Your mind is a sacred space. Let it be filled with stories that lift you, not ones that loop in sorrow. Let the past rest. Let yourself be here, whole, wise, and fully present. Part 4, stop hoarding just in case. We've all done it, held on to the extra set of sheets we haven't used in years. The kitchen gadget still in its box. That sweater from 3 decades ago, tucked behind things we do wear. Not because we need them, but because of a whisper. What if? What if I need it later? What if someone else might want it? What if it's useful someday? But here's the truth that only becomes clear as we get older. Just in case often becomes never again. And all those items quietly take up not just space in our homes, but peace in our hearts. This isn't about minimalism. It's about emotional weight. That drawer, that closet, that garage, it doesn't need to carry your fear anymore. Because fear of not having enough doesn't belong to the woman you are today. She has weathered storms. She has made ends meet. She knows what truly matters now. Letting go isn't wasteful. It's wise. It's choosing space over clutter, clarity over noise. You're not just organizing your shelves, you're honoring who you've become. So this week, start with 3 things, just 3. A pair of shoes, a tablecloth, a pan you haven't touched in years. Hold them, thank them, and say gently, you served me well, and now I set you free. You're not getting rid of memories. You're making room for presence, for lightness, for who you are now, not who you were or who you feared you might become. Every time you release something with love, you reclaim a little more peace. And you remind yourself, I have enough. I am enough. And I deserve room to breathe. Part 5. Stop thinking aging means decline. You look in the mirror and notice the changes. Softer skin, silver hair, a body that moves a little slower than it used to, and maybe somewhere deep down, you wonder if this is the beginning of a quiet fade. But what if that thought, that aging means decline, is not truth but conditioning? We've been taught to celebrate youth as the pinnacle, but no one told us the full story, that what comes after is even richer, because while youth brings speed, age brings depth. While youth seeks approval, age seeks alignment. And while youth races forward, age knows how to pause, how to listen, how to see. Your laugh lines are evidence of joy lived out loud. Your softness is strength unshaken by ego. Your slowness isn't loss, it's presence. Let's stop asking, what's wrong with me now, and start asking, what's truer about me now? What do I see more clearly? What do I know with certainty? What do I no longer need to prove? You haven't peaked, you've arrived. De-aging is not about erasing yourself, it's about becoming fully, finally, undeniably yourself. You're not in decline, you're in refinement, and that is beautiful. Part 6. Stop avoiding the mirror. When you pass a mirror these days, do you stop? Or do your eyes flick away quickly, as if looking too long might show you something you don't want to feel? So many women over 60, women full of wisdom, stories, laughter, and depth, begin to feel invisible. Not because the world told them directly, but because slowly, quietly, they stopped seeing themselves. They started avoiding their reflection, not out of shame, but out of a soft sadness, a belief that their beauty, their glow, their right to feel radiant had somehow been left behind in a younger decade. Maybe you used to look in the mirror and fix your lipstick. Now you walk past it with a sigh, muttering, "What's the point?" But here's the gentle truth. Your face today is not less beautiful. It is more honest, more lived in, more human. The softness around your eyes, the curve of your smile lines, the silver in your hair, none of it diminishes you. These are not signs of fading. They are proof of your presence, your survival, your becoming. You don't need to chase youth. You only need to stop hiding from your own light. Start small. Begin a new ritual. Each morning, not for anyone else, not for approval or praise, just for you. Walk to the mirror, meet your own eyes, and pause. No fixing, no judgment, just presence. Whisper something kind. You're still here. You're doing okay. I see you. And if that feels strange, that's okay. Do it anyway. Because over time, something soft will begin to return. Not vanity, visibility, not ego, self-regard. When you see yourself with compassion, when you stop flinching from your own reflection, the world starts to see you differently too. Not because you've changed, but because you've remembered. You are not invisible. You are not past your prime. You are a woman with depth, with grace, with fire still in your eyes. And today you choose to look, not with judgment, but with love. Because beauty at this stage isn't about erasing time. It's about honoring what time has given you. And the mirror, it's ready to meet you there. Part 7. Stop waiting for the right time. You've waited long enough. How many times have you whispered, maybe later? Maybe when the bills are handled. Maybe after the holidays. Maybe next year, when things settle. But let's be honest. When have they ever truly settled? There's always something, a reason to delay, a worry to prioritize, a responsibility that speaks louder than your longing. And so the trip doesn't happen. The phone call doesn't get made. The hobby stays a quiet dream in the back of your mind. The book you wanted to write sits inside you, unwritten but alive. But here's a gentle truth. The right time, that perfect, polished, everything falls into place moment, rarely knocks on the door. Life doesn't wait for your comfort. It waits for your courage. And courage, especially after 60, doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just whispers, "Do it anyway." Maybe no one told you that you don't have to earn your joy anymore. Maybe no one gave you permission to begin simply because your heart says it's time. Maybe no one reminded you that the years ahead aren't a quiet slide into less, but a wide open chance to step deeper into more. More presence, more truth, more memory making, not memory waiting. So let me say it clearly. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You need only to meet this one. You've lived through so much. You've overcome, adapted, cared, sacrificed. And now is the season for choosing you, not selfishly, but soulfully. Choosing one small act of freedom. One decision that feels like a breath of fresh air. One yes to something you've kept tucked in a drawer for years. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't need to impress anyone. Maybe it's booking that train ticket to visit a friend. Maybe it's signing up for a painting class. Maybe it's wearing that red lipstick even if no one else is. Maybe it's learning how to dance in your kitchen, not because anyone's watching, but because the music inside you still longs to move. And if fear speaks up, if that quiet voice says, "What if I fail? What if it's too late?" Answer it gently. Say, "What if this is exactly the moment I've been waiting for?" Say, "What if joy is waiting on the other side of one small step?" Because it is. One woman once told me that for 30 years, she dreamed of traveling alone just once without a plan or permission. She never did. She kept saying, "Maybe next season. Maybe when I retire. Maybe when I feel braver." Then she turned 70, and something shifted. She didn't get richer. She didn't become fearless. She just got tired of waiting. She booked a 3-day trip by train. She brought a journal, her favorite scarf, and a heart wide open. When she came back, she said, "It wasn't about the place. It was about remembering I'm allowed to want something." And you, my friend, are allowed too. Allowed to stop postponing the moments that bring you alive. Allowed to begin now. Not when everything's easy, but when your heart is ready. Because readiness doesn't mean no fear. It means you're done letting fear decide. So today, I invite you, with softness and with strength, to pick one thing you've put off. Write it down. Schedule it. Take one step, even the smallest. Let the next season of your life be filled not with someday, but with yes. Because you're not running out of time. You're stepping into it fully, freely, finally. Part 8. Stop letting screens steal your mornings. The news can wait. Your peace can't. There was a time when mornings felt slower, softer, a quiet stretch. The rustle of a newspaper. Maybe the radio humming low in the background while coffee brewed and sunlight crept across the floor. But somewhere along the way, our mornings were hijacked. Not by catastrophe, but by screens. Now, before we've even stepped out of bed, our thumbs reach for headlines, weather alerts, text messages, breaking news banners flashing red. And without even realizing it, we've let the world in before we've even met ourselves, before we've said good morning to our own breath. And what does that do, really? It tells your nervous system, hurry, worry, react. It trades stillness for stimulation, reflection for reaction, and peace, the peace that you've earned, slips right through your fingers before the day has even begun. But here's something gentle to consider. That phone on your nightstand doesn't get to dictate your worth. The world outside doesn't get to choose your mood. You do. And you can reclaim your morning starting with just one simple shift. Try this. A tech-free first hour. not forever, just the beginning of your day. When you first wake up, leave the phone on the charger. Don't check the news. Don't scroll through messages. Instead, greet the morning like an old friend. Open the curtains, let the light in, make your tea or coffee with presence. Sit with it. Feel the warmth in your hands. Maybe journal. Maybe stretch. Maybe read one page of something beautiful. Maybe pray. Maybe just breathe. Let your first hour be yours, not the world's. Because the truth is, your morning sets the emotional tone for your entire day. When you start from urgency, your body follows with tension. When you start from gentleness, your body relaxes into presence. You've spent decades waking up to alarms, to children's needs, to work obligations, to someone else's urgency. But this season is yours. And you deserve to enter your day like a soft breeze, not a storm. One woman I know, a 68-year-old retired nurse, told me she used to wake up and immediately reach for her iPad. By 7:15, she already felt behind. The headlines would weigh on her. Her coffee tasted bitter with stress, so she tried something new. For the first 30 minutes of each morning, she lit a candle, played quiet instrumental music, sat on the porch with a blanket and let the birds greet her before anyone else did. That one habit changed everything. She said, "Now I feel like I arrive in my life instead of being pulled into it." You deserve that too. You don't have to go screen-free forever. The world will still be there. The emails, the weather, the news, they can wait. But your peace, your stillness, that can't. So tomorrow morning, try 1 hour, just one, and see how it feels to start your day with you, just you, in silence, in light, in sovereignty. Because your life isn't a headline, it's a sacred rhythm. And the way you begin matters. Part 9. Stop believing it's too late. If you're still here, it's not too late. Not for love, not for growth, not for something new. I don't care what the calendar says. I don't care what society whispers about age appropriate or starting over. Because here's what I know to be true. As long as you're breathing, your story is still being written. But I also know how easy it is to believe otherwise. We tell ourselves, that window closed, imaginons. That ship sailed. That version of me is gone. And so we shrink. We stay safe. We stop dreaming, not because we don't have dreams, but because we think they no longer belong to us. But what if that isn't true? What if that thing you keep circling in your heart, that trip, that song, that letter, that garden, that business idea, that apology, what if it's still waiting for you? You are not a used-up version of who you once were. You are a deepened version, more rooted, more reflective, more ready than you've ever been. And maybe now, finally, free enough to begin without needing anyone else's approval. I remember a woman named Joy who started painting again at 73. She hadn't picked up a brush in over 40 years. She told me, "I thought I missed my chance, but then I realized I didn't want to die with the color still inside me." And now, she paints every morning by the window, not for a gallery, but for herself, for the little girl in her who never stopped loving color. You have that little girl in you too. And she's still dreaming. So tonight, write one dream down. Not a goal, not a plan, just a whisper of something that still lives inside you. Maybe it's learning to dance again. Maybe it's falling in love again. Maybe it's forgiving someone, including yourself. Say it aloud. Let your own voice make it real. And then ask, what's the smallest step I can take toward this week? Because that's all it takes. One quiet step, one tiny yes. And the moment you take that step, you become the woman who did not give up on herself. And that changes everything. No, you're not starting at zero. You're starting from wisdom, from courage, from a life already lived with depth. So please don't believe the lie that your best years are behind you. You are not winding down. You are unfolding. And the most breathtaking chapters are often the ones we never saw coming. You're still here, and it's not too late. This is your time. You've spent a lifetime doing what needed to be done, caring, providing, persevering. But now is your time to be present, to be honest, to be soft where you used to be sharp, and strong where you once felt invisible. This is not a chapter of less. It is a season of more depth, more presence, more truth. You are not required to chase anymore. You are invited to choose. Choose what fills you. Choose what frees you. Choose what honors who you've become. So let's gently remember what you are allowed to release today. Let go of saying yes when you really mean maybe. Let go of apologizing for your no. Let go of replaying old conversations that steal today's peace. Let go of hoarding just in case when space is the true luxury. Let go of believing that age is decline. It is deepening. Let go of avoiding your own reflection. You are still radiant. Let go of waiting for the right time. Now is enough. Let go of letting screens hijack your sacred mornings. Let go of the lie that it's too late, because it never is. Now I ask you gently, which of these are you ready to stop today? Just one. Just for today. Leave it in the comments below, not as a confession, but as a liberation. You never know who your courage might set free. And if this message felt like something you needed, a breath, a pause, a reminder that your story is still unfolding, I'd be honored if you liked, shared, or subscribed. Because around here, we don't believe aging is about fading away. We believe it's about arriving fully, finally, and beautifully, in your own rhythm, in your own way. This is your time, and you are more than ready.